At least one attorney in the church sex abuse scandal is raising concerns that the current settlement proposal by some of the parties could leave the 158 victims in a precarious situation in which they could end up, quote, fighting over the money on their own, end quote, once a settlement amount is established. PNC's Jolene Toves reports from District Court, where a joint conference for both the local and federal cases was held.
53 sex abuse cases have been filed in Superior Court, and 105 cases have been filed in District Court, bringing the total number of sex abuse cases against the Archdiocese to 158. Those cases were brought together for the first time in District Court, with Chief Judge Francis Tidinko Gatewood and Superior Court Judge Michael Berdalio presiding over a joint status conference to determine where all the parties stand in regards to mediation. Attorney Delia Lujan-Wolf, co-counsel to Attorney David Lujan, told the court that the mediation protocol should be complete by the end of this month, further stating that the mediator will be Tony Piazza, who will be able to complete the mediation in about a week's time. While majority of those involved favor the mediation protocol as it stands, it appears that Attorney Anthony Perez's clients, which represents 10% of the cases, are still on the fence.
I don't have any comment yet. We're still negotiating. We're still negotiating the rest of the protocol.
Do you think, though, that you'll be able to come to, make a decision as the judges were asking by the 31st?
Dependent on the response from the defendants.
At this time, there are, quote, minor issues, end quote, in the protocol which Perez would like to see tweaked. If that is done, then he says his clients will be able to move forward. One of his concerns is the possibility of a global mediation, which is troubling for Perez and his clients.
How a global settlement works is they take they mediate a total amount that the plaintiffs then have to divide up on their own. It doesn't allocate victim A, you get such and such amount, victim B, you get such and such amount. They say, we're going to give everybody, or we're going to make this much money available, and then you guys fight over it on your own.
He says when that happens, then the dispute between the plaintiff and defendant ends. But then there arises a dispute between the victims on who is entitled to what.
The amount in controversy is not established yet, as we're not sure what each individual defendant is entitled to and what the potential pot will be put out there by the defendants.
In court, Perez stood his ground when asked if he and his clients were, quote, in or out, end quote, stating that they are not agreeable to the mediation protocol as it stands, which poses a dilemma because the defendant, Boy Scouts of America, will not enter into mediation unless all plaintiffs involved are, quote, in. And while both Chief Judge Tidinko Gatewood and Judge Berdalio cannot force Perez's clients into mediation, they cannot allow a small majority to, quote, blow up a settlement for 90%, end quote. Judge Berdalio, meanwhile, has continued the stay until March 12th. Should Perez not be on board with mediation, then his clients will proceed to trial. Reporting for PNC News, I'm Jolene Toves.